I know. Yeah, I know. So we are live with Bearded Life, Joe, and our very special guest, Cedric from Beard Justice. Thank you guys for coming on in. How you doing, Ced?
Oh, I'm great. I am absolutely fabulous. How
Yeah,
about you?
we're doing good. I had a nice Saturday to myself with
Yeah.
the kids and the family, so super nice. How are you doing, Joe?
Trying to keep Sammy from going nuts right now. She's definitely experiencing some cabin fever at the moment, but like I said, she can hate me later on. Right now, I'm gonna keep her safe, and that's that.
Right. That's what you have to do as a father, man.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
got some things done today. Got the last two inhalers, which was nice. I don't got to worry about going back to CVS for a while and stuff. So all in all, it was a productive day. Got some stuff done and just dealing with situations as they come. But back to the beard world where I feel my most comfortable is right here. So I'm good right now. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is my escape. My wife calls this therapy. Anytime I do anything Beard Justice or anything on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anything, she calls it therapy for me because I put a lot of pressure on myself as a man. So, when I come into this community or into the industry, this is like an escape, man. It's like a retreat.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I think that's the reason why, like last night we extended our hours a little bit of time because we felt that this was a perfect opportunity to just kind of escape into doing something different. These beard products are amazing. It's kind of like I love them, and talking about them is a passion for me, Joe. I think you too said, and anybody else watching this, it's a great escape, especially now with everything going on as crazy as it is. It's great to be able to get on these streams and be able to share some amazing companies. And today we're talking about some awesome products that we had some opportunities to test. Joe, can you show what you got?
Yep. There's one right there. Okay. You got the Daywalker.
That's a beautiful one. That Daywalker.
And then
Cell Block. Yeah.
Cell Block. Yes, sir. And then of course I had the bombs to go with each one. And then, Ced sent me something, man, and I was like in shock that I didn't have it. He sent me a butter of his and it's completely unscented. And I do not own an unscented butter until this man sent me one. And I couldn't believe it.
That's funny, Joe. So many other people think they can agree with you there because there are a lot of unscented products or so-called unscented that actually have a scent with it.
Yes.
And people don't think about buying unscented products. But if you think about all the oils that you have and all the butters that you have, not everything matches up all the time. So it's great to have something truly unscented to put with whatever else. And plus, I wear the Naked Bootleg butter at night if I do wear anything. And I don't want to have to change my pillowcase every night. Or flip it over every 2 nights, flip it over and then change it because I have all these different scents on the pillowcase. So yeah, you got to have that Naked Bootleg.
Having this it's an amazing game changer because, just having an unscented butter that I really enjoy using, like he said, I can grab any oil I want now and just throw it in to go with it if I want to. Any oil I feel like it. And it's really a great game changer. And it's amazing that I never thought about grabbing an unscented butter until this man sent me over one. It never even crossed my mind.
Oh, that's awesome. How did you like it? That's another question. How did you like it? So the fact that it didn't have a scent, but then how did it feel?
Dude, this is one of the nicest feeling beard butters that I have right now. It's soft. It's light. It feels amazing. It melts down so easy. I mean, just like that. And it's pretty much gone in your hands, ready to get put in the beard. And it just feels amazing. Like it's a great product. It really is.
Oh, that's awesome to hear.
That's great to hear.
Yeah. I was surprised. And I actually was surprised. So I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't realize, and I guess I was not looking at it right, but I thought that these were the butters because I have an older one that looks like this, and this was the bomb from a little bit ago, said like last year. And then so I got these, so I thought, oh, these are butters then. Okay, cool. I'll try these out. And I thought these were butters because they were so moisturizing. And this is the bomb. This is the bomb. Yeah. These are awesome. Yeah, these are
Well, I
really
appreciate
great.
that. See, my balms aren't meant to stiffen the beard. They're just meant to keep what you have in place. That's it. And, it's not meant to weigh anything down. It's not meant to shape. A lot of people like balms for styling, but it's just meant to keep whatever you have in that place. So it's not going all over the place, all free, like if you just use the butter. But it is a light to medium hold balm, so it doesn't really feel like a balm.
Oh yeah,
You know?
and I almost said that I said this in one of my posts for testing. I felt like it was one of those hybrids
Mm-hmm.
where it's in between both, and you could use this at night just as much as you could use it. Like if you're doing the beard balm, oil in the morning, take your shower, oil in the morning, balm
Right.
in the morning, and then you wanted to put something in at night that's usually butter. I think that
Right.
this could substitute for a butter perfectly.
You could. There are a lot of companies that want and a lot of customers that want a stronger hold balm. And I've had people reach out to me and ask me if I can make the hold stronger. And I can, of course. But I have a dedicated recipe for my balms, for my butters, for my oils, for the conditioner, for the beard wash. It's a dedicated recipe that's taken a lot of research and a lot of waste, and a lot of mistakes, and I got it to where I want it. Now, a lot of people think, well, just drop some more beeswax in it. And you got to remember, there's supposed to be a balance to this stuff. Just like the oils, there's supposed to be a balance to the carriers and the fragrances. You don't just pour it in, mix it up and smell it and say it's good to go.
You just touched on something that I don't think a lot of people realize with the beard world, and that's that putting this stuff together is not as simple as just dropping oils in a container. It's an art form. It really is. They have to go through a very long process, and like Cedric said, there's a lot of waste involved. There's a lot of wrong turns, a lot of mistakes, so that they can finally find that perfect combination that they're happy with to actually put out. So asking them to change that at that point isn't as easy as you would think, because now if he adds more beeswax, it throws off everything else in his combination, and he's got to start all over again just for one customer and their stiffer balm that they want. It's a lot to ask of a creator.
I get it that you want a stronger balm. I get it. I get it that my oil is on the thicker end.
Yes.
I get it that you would rather have a lighter oil.
Oh, I actually I love your oil.
Why my oil is thicker. There's a method to my madness. And a lot of people look at me, they're like, okay, he's a regular guy. He's not a real company. He's just a guy that makes some stuff. That's how a lot of people see me. So they think that they can do the same thing easily. And you got to well, I don't want to say you got to remember, but you have to keep in mind that this is my 5th year of doing it. Now, a lot of people had no idea I was around because I've really only been on social media for a year and a half, 2 years, And before that, I was running under another name before I changed the name to Beard Justice. But I've gotten my feet into this thing, and I know what I'm doing now, as opposed to a lot of people putting up YouTube videos or saying go to Google and they will give you the recipe to make a beard balm or a beard oil. I mean, that's probably the basics, but that's not all there is to it.
Right. So when you go out of when you're thinking, so this is for anybody who's new to this, you do Cologne inspired scents, and you are 100% on your game with this. And I have to say that I have several of these colognes in bottle. I know that the one that I really liked was that light blue. That was the first scent I ever tried, because that was my personal cologne. That's what I rocked every day prior to a beard. And so I was like, this is perfect, and it matched perfect. I was like, you can't tell the difference. What goes into your creation process when you are sitting there thinking, and I don't know how you do it. It's a wizardry that goes into this to be able to say that cologne, this is what it's made of, and these are the elements, and to make that scent exactly close, or at least match close. How do you go into that process?
A lot of it comes from the fact that I've probably owned maybe 75 colognes myself. And when you have a lot of stuff like that, just like anybody that has a lot of shirts, a lot of hats, or a lot of whatever, you start to realize what quality really is, because there are some of them that aren't as good. As far as the cologne scents go, what it is my wife didn't like the scents of the beard products that I was using when I first started growing my beard. And then I was like, well, I don't want to have to keep buying this stuff. Why can't I just make it myself? And once I did that, she said, well, why don't you make something that smells like cologne? So what I had to do is first realize that I can't pour cologne into the product. That's the first thing I had to realize. And that's something that a lot of people actually think that I do, because the smells are so similar. But a lot of people don't know that cologne is 80% alcohol and 10% water. And the fragrance is only 10% of it. So what I had to realize was, okay, I can go to their website and find out their breakdown of the scents that they use. And I can try to, but it, like I said before, a lot of waste, man. You know, currently, this is the only part of it that I'll give you, because this is not technically a trade secret. I use cologne fragrance oil bases. Now, what I mean by that is there may be a fragrance oil base that's sweet, like Daywalker, you know, or something that's a little bit stronger, like Cell Block, and something a little cleaner, like Pillow Talk. And I'll get a base, and then I'll start to add certain stuff to it. And what I had to realize, what I had to do is a lot of research and find out what top notes, what the difference between top, heart, and base notes were. I had to realize it, because you can't just drop it in, because a top note is just meant to accent. That's basically what it is. And a heart note is meant to, you know, kind of linger a little bit, but the base is where the strength of the scent comes from. So I had to figure out what it was, you know, what was what, and then put that together. But I've wasted so much stuff figuring it out. And I'm still wasting so much stuff because when I go back and I make another batch of this fragrance oil blend that I'm doing for that particular cologne scent, I could mess it up a little bit. I have the recipe, but I'm human. You know, I could use too much. I could use not enough. And when you use not enough, and when you don't use enough, and you think, okay, well, I can just add something else to it. That goes back to the beeswax conversation.
Yep.
You can't just add to it, because that'll mess the whole ratio of everything else up. So, like I said,
you had a certain balance in mind, and now you're throwing that balance off again.
Right. And you know, as far as fragrance oils go, fragrance oil, the scents last longer, and they don't have as many benefits as, per se, the essential oils. But what I tell people all the time is, if the ratio is correct in that beard product, you shouldn't see more than 5% of that essential oil anyway. So most of your benefits are coming from the carriers and the butters. So there's really no reason to look down on fragrance oils because they don't have the benefits. Because it's supposed to be a small amount, just for scent. It's like adding Coke to your whiskey just for color, or something like that. You know what I mean? It's not meant to change the taste. And
it's funny. The same people that complain about the benefit argument are the same ones who complain when they buy a product that uses only essential oils, and they say, "Oh, that scent profile doesn't last that long." Well, you can't have both here. It's one or the other, guys. You can't have both.
Yep.
Can't have it both ways. But here's the thing. The essential oils are great. I'm not going to say they're not. But in beard products, if you're looking for longevity, if you're looking to put something on in the morning, once you get out of the shower, before you walk out the door, and if you want it to last past lunch, you know what I mean? Let's say you're getting out of the house 5:36, 7 o'clock in the morning. If you want it to last past lunch, you're going to have to get some fragrance.
Right. And especially when you're talking like the cologne scent. I mean, I don't know. For me, the cologne scents, I always look more towards the fragrance game, because if I'm going out at night and I'm throwing a cologne scent into my beard, I want that to last. I'm throwing it in because I want to smell like that all night. That's what I want to smell like.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
Sorry.
so no worries. So that is very interesting. Now, do you go? Is there certain companies that you're going to over and over again? Or are you doing it naturally sourced? Where are you going to get your carriers? How are you going into that process? Is it because I know some people go into like local markets and buy their carriers from local guys, and then there's other people that have bigger companies.
Right. Well, I'm one. See, I've been dealing with the same company for the majority of the time that I've been making my stuff. And I found the company because, I was just doing a Google search for bulk oils. So the company that I use, I've been using for over 4 years. And I do use a bigger company for my carriers. I only use 2 companies for my cologne fragrance bases. One's out of New York and one's out of Baltimore. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I was living in Northern Virginia, right outside of DC, up until about 1.5 years ago. So the one in Baltimore, I actually got a chance to go see their lab, see their facilities, and the one in New York as well. So I mean, it's not like I just went online and did a search and said, okay, I need this. I had to see, first of all, because people were putting this stuff on their face.
Yes. Thank you. Absolutely.
That was very important to me, especially if it was something that I was going to be asking people asking money for, and I'm not a baller, I'm a regular guy with a full-time job and a wife and bills and all of this stuff. So I couldn't have anybody coming back to me saying that I broke them out or the beard fell out or, the skin and whatever got a rash or anything. So I had to do all of this research and have to go see, I get my mango butter, which I use in both my balms and my butters from one company. I get my kokum butter from one company. And I get my cocoa butter from another company. I get my beeswax from another company because I had to figure out who had the best quality. I wasn't really worried about price because when you're buying in bulk, you're going to get a better price anyway. But I just wasn't going to get the cheap stuff. That's why I stopped using shea butter, which a lot of people use because I think it's cheap, quality, and inexpensive. But I think it's cheap quality. So I stopped using it. That's just my opinion. That's why you don't see shea butter in any of my products or coconut oil. Not saying there's anything wrong with either of them, but it's just not for us.
Oh, that's a good thing. And so that's showing that premium. So the moment that you conceive of an idea, like you say, somebody says, hey, I would like a cologne, or you think in your head, I'd like to try this kind of cologne. How long from start to finish does it take you to do the research into?
Well, since I've done a lot of research on where to get the bases from, where to get my carriers from, all I'm really researching now is the fragrance oil blends. So from, it really all depends. A lot of people, I have a long list of colognes that people would like to have in their beard products, cologne scents. But, and I'm humbled and I love the fact that people are coming to me. What they have to realize is it's a process. It's not just, go get the scent, put it in. So for me, I have to say a minimum of 6 months. And that includes me guinea pigging myself once I think I've gotten the recipe down to where I need it. All of my stuff, the people ask me about my ingredients. They always say, maybe you should use this instead of that. Or you ever think about using this instead of that? What I use works for me. And everybody's skin is different. Everybody's genes are different. Everybody's hair is different.
Thank you.
And I wasn't just going to make something for the masses like argan oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil. That's what Google will tell you to use. I needed to make something that worked for me. And then hope that it worked for other people. And that's kind of worked out for me. I use a few different carriers that most people don't really use. So it's I'd have to say 6 months at a minimum for the scent, for me to be happy with the scent. I'd have to say at least 6 months. A lot of times closer to 9 months to a year. And I have a and then I have to run it by my wife, who is
she gets final call on the scent profiles.
There you go.
Absolutely. I better not say this too loud because she can hear me, but I've snuck a couple of them in that she didn't like. Just from sheer demand. I'm telling you, people are asking for it. And she didn't really care for it. But there's only a couple of them. So
hey, listen, don't feel bad. I gotta hide from my daughter if I throw something in my beard she doesn't like. She'll be like, Daddy, what is that? And I'm like, huh? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Hold on. Look
over there. Look over there.
Why? I can't tell my wife, don't worry about it, go on, because, I got to get back up in her face eventually. So,
got to wash that out a little bit, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a couple. I have that same situation. Every once in a while, my wife will go, "What is that?" And luckily, I really like the fact that my wife really did like these. I have now made it because I want to kind of get her into the at least the picture of knowing what I'm doing with this stuff. I'm not just buying and she's going, where the heck is our money going? Right. I wanted to kind of hey, look at these smell really good. And I know that yours is one of the ones that I just recently got, and she loves them, absolutely loves them. Smells like exactly, to me, it smells refreshing. Definitely, I'm a cologne guy. I was a cologne guy before I got into the beard game. So these have always been awesome. And I, of all the, so this is honest, is that I got that one that is, attention here. What is it? Oh, the light blue that you now have discontinued, but
capital offense.
So that is one of the ones that I've almost gotten out of. I'm almost done with it because I liked it that much. Because I just was like, I like cologne scents. It makes me feel, especially when you go to work. For me, cologne is one of those go-to work, feel empowered by scents, and that's kind of why I wore it in the first place before the beard. So I can just continue that same thing. And then people go, hey, what's that great scent? And that's kind of what I'm looking for is, that kind of awesome opportunity. Yeah.
Some type of reaction. Now, I have to say, I do apologize for discontinuing light blue. That was because of demand. It just wasn't selling, and a few times I've actually changed the scent and kept the name and the color scheme and everything, just changed the scent completely because I want to see if that one sells a little bit better. But light blue, everybody said they loved light blue, but there just weren't enough people buying it for me to justify continuing to make it myself using the ingredients that I use for the fragrance. It just wasn't, it just didn't make much business sense.
Right.
And I can still make it because I still have some of the fragrance oil blend left. So I could probably make a couple batches of it.
Oh, I think that you're,
And my batch size is 10.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's oils, that's butters, that's balms. So, you see, it has to make sense for me to make 10 of all of these different things, and it just wasn't making much sense back then. But Bulgari, that's a very, it's one of those higher end colognes, but it's kind of aquatic. I don't know if a lot of people know the meaning behind that word aquatic, but it's kind of fresh, and I don't want to say watery, but it kind of gives you a vibe of I'm out on my yacht. I don't know. If I had a yacht, I would probably smell like Capital Offense because it just gives me that vibe. Maybe it's just me. Everybody gets something different out of it, but I'm glad that you're almost out of it. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, and as a reviewer, that was the one that I was sneaking back into my. I try to have like a day so I can wear something that I really like. That was one of the ones that,
and that's not easy to do.
No, not with.
That's not easy to do when you're doing this. It's not.
Yeah, it's
you wind up looking at the stuff that you love, and you're like, oh, yeah. I don't care today. I'm just wearing you, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you
Right.
have to say that and just have some time for yourself. And this is one of those scents. The other ones, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I was extremely excited about trying Sharks collab with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, and I had fun making the videos because I went with Baby Shark.
Right. That was
So,
kind of cool.
yeah. So, but I really enjoyed the fact that I hadn't tried this cologne before, and
Right.
I was exactly
Yes,
because
Sam.
I know Mo pretty well. Oh, there's the Sammy.
You say hi
Sammy
to
K.
everybody. Say hi.
Hey.
They all know who you are.
Hey, Sammy.
Okay, so that's right there. That's Cedric. He's the man who makes these. Beer Justice.
I know him.
Yes, you know Practitioner. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
What's up?
First things first.
No, not first things first. I'm live.
First
We're live.
things first.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Kids.
Okay,
Second thing second. I'm bored. Third thing third. I'm bored.
Sam.
Fourth things fourth. I have to wash my
Kids
hair.
are.
No. Goodbye. Love you.
I go.
Bye. Love
So-
you. Go get in the shower.
So literally, my
Yeah.
kid's at that same space, but he's just found that Fortnite is his thing right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, listen.
She's busy.
You know, the problem is she's hitting that preteen stage, you know, and she
Yeah.
wants to be out with her friends and all that stuff. And instead, she's
quarantined.
trapped in the house and she's quarantined as she's standing behind me complaining about.
Yeah.
And it's driving her a little nutty. It is, but I can't complain because she's such an awesome kid. She gets up on her own. She makes her own breakfast. She does the schoolwork, everything. She's been awesome.
But then you yell at me when I'm
Yeah.
on FaceTime for too long.
Yes.
I'm staring at my
All
screen.
right, go. I love you.
There's Mr.
But
There's
yeah,
Mr. Tyson.
she's been awesome about this whole homeschooling thing, which is not easy. Let me tell you something. My
I can
nephew's
imagine.
doing it too, and he's driving my brother through a loop because he's like, but it's homework. Why should I spend 8 hours doing homework? And his dad's like, it's not homework. It's school. Like, this is your school right now.
Yeah, craziness. So, so this is Sharks, and
Yeah.
I saw Shark get released. I also saw the collab with Dan get released, and you know, I had honestly,
you gotta also throw in the collab with Scott that maybe you might want to try down the line. Beer
for
Times
sure.
with Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what was his.
His is Le Boudoir. It's modeled after Mont Blanc legend
Ooh.
cologne.
Yeah,
Very nice.
It's a warm and sort of spicy. It's a little bit of a stronger scent profile because I do have some that are stronger, some that are lighter, some that are cleaner. You know, but it's a really well. All of them are sexy, man. But just go ahead.
So I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
just
that's
gotta ask.
awesome.
I gotta ask one thing. Practitioner, what are they called?
Collaborations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead
You
and
have
say
to
the
say-
shortened version for me. Say the short version.
Collab. I say collab. It's a collab. I'm enunciating. But yeah, you know what? I think there is and me and Joe talk behind the scenes on this, that there is just totally an art that goes into this. And again, I love the fact that the reason why you got into this, and this was, 5 years ago now, you said, I can create better things than this. And
I don't know if I can say better. I don't mean to interrupt. I don't know if I can actually say better, but I have to say that work better for me. And that's all it was.
I like
just
this
needed
man
it
right now.
better for me. And plus there were no colognes. There were no cologne scents.
No, the
Absolutely
cologne
not.
thing has definitely exploded
I'm a
more
cologne guy.
recently.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
it
a
definitely
cologne guy, so it's
exploded
like-
more recently.
Right. But I used to have to decide whether I'm going to wear beard products or cologne because they didn't mix. They didn't match. They
No.
didn't mesh. So that was that, when I started to, get it out there to try to share it with people to see what they thought, I just wanted it to be another option. I'm not trying to replace all the fruity and the food scented stuff and the earthy and the woodsy and the citrusy. I wasn't trying to replace anything. I was just trying to add a little something to your arsenal. That's all.
And you know what? It's important too, because so many people get into the beard stuff and they're like, oh yeah, I got a beard oil and it smelled like the woods and that's just not for me. So you're right. Having another option out there, a cologne option that most people enjoy the cologne scents. So it's something that can draw people in and show them, hey, everything's not the fruity scents or the earthy ones. And there's other options out there too. If you're into the other ones, cool. If not, here's some cologne scents for you. You can find the one you like and you're good to go now.
But see, you also have to keep in mind that you say most people like cologne scents. I'd have to say it's on the other end of it. Most people have no idea about cologne scents because they either used to wear a couple of different colognes back in the day, or they had an uncle, father, co-worker, brother, neighbor that wore cologne but wore too much of it, so that kind of turned them off. Or,
my dad.
Yeah, or that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people.
God love my father, and I'm sorry, Dad, I ain't trying to talk bad about you, but he had Jovan Musk, and he used to take that bottle and just turn it over and.
Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people really have an emotional attachment to certain scents, and it could be a bad emotional attachment.
Yeah.
So people do shy away from the cologne scents. And then again, most of the cologne scents that I'm doing are higher end colognes. So it's like, okay, you know about Curve, and you know about Cool Water, and you might know about your car or Obsession or some of the older ones from back in the day. But what is Lana Weed from Yves Saint Laurent? Or what is 1 Million, which is the Daywalker? You know what I mean?
So good.
And what is Bulgari? A lot of people don't know what that. So when they want to go try something, they're just like, but what does it smell like? And I can put a bunch of words together for you all you want. But until you get it on your skin and it mixes with your body chemistry, because it could smell. I bet Daywalker smells totally different on me than it does on you, Jim.
I mean, it probably does. And I can tell you this, what I got from it. So I got like a darker, mysterious cologne almost for me. And then when I wore it out and I asked a girl that I know and I trust her opinion, I was like, hey, come here real quick. Tell me what you think. And she was like, oh, that's like nice. That's fresh. It's clean. And I'm like, everybody's got their different opinion on what something smells like, but they all liked it, period. They all enjoyed it. So
that's the point. That's the point. And the name is funny that you said dark and mysterious because the name actually came from my love of the movie Blade.
Right, yeah. I love that movie.
So that's why I named it Daywalker.
Love the first two, didn't care for the third one all that much.
Yeah, you're right.
But part two was amazing.
Yes, it was. I still love part one,
Yes.
But part two was a little bit better. Part three, it was, I don't know. But
Wesley Snipes was done by part three. That was the problem. He was done.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
He didn't want to do it no more. He just wanted out of the contract at that point.
Yeah, he had to do that third video. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's the reason why it's named Daywalker. And every single name of every single one of my products has meaning to me. And any of them that you want to know why. There are some that are law related because I wanted to be a lawyer when I went to college, but I also wanted to be a bus driver, which I had done for the last 22 years. And I knew I didn't need a degree for it. And I knew I would have had to be in school for 6-7 years to be a lawyer. So that's where a lot of those law-themed names come from. But the other ones, they just come out of my freaking. I
love that. I love that.
They come out of my mind. That's it. It just has some kind of meaning.
Oh, that's awesome. You brought up a really good point, and this is something that is back in my cologne game. I had a girlfriend in college that really liked Drakkar, absolutely loved Drakkar Noir, and it didn't match with my skin chemistry. It just didn't match. I tried to make it match, and I wore it. I got a bottle from her, but it just didn't work for me, and that's why I always went with later years light blue because it went with my chemistry. And that's the one thing that I realized, that I was always a sweeter grapefruit citrus person. And finding those matches are something that you have to go and kind of play with. And that's the
You have
awesome
to do your research.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Right.
you have to do your research. You can't just take somebody else's word for how good a cologne smells. Because I can tell you that Pillow Talk is the first cologne scent that I made, and it's still the top selling one years later. I can tell you that's my wife's favorite. I can tell you I love the way it smells. But once it hits your skin and your hair and the air hits it, it might not do the same for you. So people always ask, what are my, do I have any suggestions? I'm just like, dude, I mean, I got 30 suggestions. I really can't just give you one. But then you have to take it upon yourself, number one, to go smell it. Go to the mall and smell a couple of clones. And number two, somebody who you're attracted to or somebody of that same gender, take them with you. Because then they'll give you an opinion on how it smells. Because you got to remember, unless you're attracted to manly men, you're really not going to know what smells good on a man. It could smell good to you, but you really not going to know if it smells good to, let's say, a woman, unless you take a woman and get her opinion.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And that's exactly how I ran into Light Blue, was that I had to go with somebody who said, yeah, you're a grapefruit citrus dude. You got to keep those top. That's your notes. And if you go off of them, you're not a musk. You're not a musk dude.
Right.
And I wanted to be.
You haven't tried my due process, have you?
I have not.
And you haven't tried my birthday suit, have
you? No, I saw them. I remember seeing them on your lineup.
Well, due process is on the chopping block at the moment for obvious reasons. Like I was saying before, some of them just don't sell the way others do. So why would I not only continue to make it, but continue to clog up my website? Because my website is full of so many options. And for some people, it's too many. It's kind of overload. So it's actually on something called the clearance shelf, which is another listing that I have. And it's discounted $9 for the combo. And when I'm out of it, I'm just gonna discontinue it. And I'm not trying to convince you to buy it, because it is a heavy citrus scent. It's a sweet orange. That's like the base of it. But it does have a smoky cologne type of vibe on top of the sweet orange. So it's one of those that is, I don't want to use the word complex because it's not really complex, but it is one that evolves a little bit. Maybe I'll send you a couple samples so you can try it on your skin, on yourself, so you don't have to worry about, getting the full thing and not liking it. But you should check those two out.
I will.
Definitely.
I will. And so the other thing that I wanted to point out on your website, and something that you just talked about, was the fact that for those who are not aware, he has a really great sample option. And so if you can talk about that a little bit, Ced, about your samples that you can do, is like $7-8 or something.
Well,
or a little bit more.
If you're buying a combo, then there's an option in that listing where you can add 3 sample scents for $10. Now, $10 is really a lot of money for a lot of people, but if you think about how big the sample is and the fact that you're getting 3 of them. Now, my samples for my size beard, which is a little longer, it's really curly, so it's a little longer than it looks like. I could probably get 5 or 6 uses out of that sample. 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's
right.
So that will allow me to actually see if I like it, to actually wear it a couple times to see if I'm going to get a different vibe at work or going out or just hanging out, and then also see how it works with my skin. So that's with the balm oil or butter oil combos. You can add 3 samples for $10, but my sample packs are $30.
30. Okay.
There are 8 of those big samples, 8 of them. And there's also a 1-ounce jar of either the unscented beard butter or the unscented beard balm. So you can use that balm or butter with either one of those samples when you use it. And it's a huge sample. I got to tell you that. So out of the 8, you're probably not going to be in love with all 8, but 4 or 5 of them maybe. You know what I mean? So that way you can gauge what you like. And there's a sexy sampler, which I got, I have some of my scents that are deemed more towards the romantic type of vibe, that close encounters type of thing. That's the sexy sampler. And there's another one called the mannish sampler. Mannish. And that's because those are the stronger scent profiles like Mad Max and Cell Block, like you have, Joe, and things like that. And there's another one called the pristine sampler, and that's like the clean scents, like Polo Blue and Green Iris Tweed and Blue de Chanel and things like that. They're just clean. Or fourth option, like I said, I got too many damn options. Excuse my language. Actually customize your own. Instead of getting one of those that's sexy, I don't like this and I don't like that scent. You can actually go in there and see which scent you like. Write them down on a piece of paper. So when you go in there to order that scent, you customize, you build your own, and you list those 8 scents that you want to try. Remember, it comes with a 1-ounce jar of butter or balm that is truly unscented. And that's actually, you say 1 ounce, doesn't sound like a lot. But when you get the jar and the fact that you're only going to have to use a fingernail, that's the 1 ounce size. Yep. You're only going to have to use a fingernail worth of it. It's going to last you for a while. So they're 10 milliliters. They're a third of an ounce per sample. So whatever bottle of beer oil you have, cut it into 3s, and you will see how big my samples are. And you know how long that third is actually going to last you.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing
I've used
deal.
this quite a few times already. So like you said, the 1 ounce butter is actually a lot more than you'd be surprised how much use you'll get out of this sample. And like you said, it is, like you said, I've gotten unscented products before, but they're not unscented. They carry a natural kind of scent to them, if you will.
Right.
This is truly and completely unscented. There's no scent profile here. There's nothing.
That goes back to the research of what to use. I said earlier about a couple of things that I don't want to use because of, in my opinion, the quality isn't where it should be. But as far as the ingredients, you can eat, well, not easily, but you can find out what doesn't carry a scent and what does. It's not rocket science. So the ones that do carry a scent, like hemp seed oil, I'm not going to use that. And that's just I don't know. That is what it is. So but those sample packs, I think if you're going to introduce yourself to my company, I think you should go for the sample. Now the sample pack is the same cost of a balm and oil combo, let's per se. $29-$30. You get that one balm and oil combo, you're not going to wear that one every single day. You want to be able to change it up.
Mr. Joey Hookham is singing your praises. I don't know if you can see the chat.
No, I can't see any comments, and I apologize for anybody.
All right, so Joey Hookham just said, you guys need to try Cedric's beard conditioner with biotin. Phenomenal stuff. And he also said before that had a lady stop him in Walmart to compliment me on birthday suit beard butter.
I'm telling you. You hear that? Birthday suit. Yeah. And like I said, every name has a meaning. That particular scent, when I wear it, I want to be butt naked. That's just the vibe I get from it. I just want, I don't know, man.
That's awesome.
And pillow talk is more like cuddled up, snuggled up, face to face, staring into each other's eyes before all that nastiness starts. But I'm just saying, that's kind of the vibe that you get from that. So a lot of these names, Hookham, he's a big fan. I love that guy, man. I wish I could catch big fish like he can, but let's stick to what we're good at.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I love that about that, and I love the fact that that's what the scents are always a memory thing for me as well. And I like the fact that you've come up with names that you think kind of match with where you want to be at, in that like characteristic. I want to be naked when I'm wearing this because it's clean, it's nice smelling, it's
very light and it's very sexy. It's
you can be naked all you want, wearing whatever you want. Just don't be on a live with me while you're doing it, please.
No,
that's
man,
all I ask.
Don't worry about that. I don't like you like that, Joe. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's just the vibe that I got from it, or what I wanted to name it. Like Victoria's Secret, very sexy. That's one of my things. Very light. Very light. But I call it Kama Sutra. Oh. Because I feel like I want to be doing
where this is going.
Twister type of positions when I'm wearing it. I don't know. That's just
you okay, Prac?
I told you I'm a freak, so
you okay, Prac? He's kind of going like PG-13 on you. You okay?
He's okay.
My bad.
So
no, it's all good.
But you know what? But that's I wanted to get that perspective. Is that you're creating? And that's what colognes really are. And you pointed to it earlier. This is for attraction, and I want to feel you do them for different reasons. I like colognes to go to work in because I feel empowered.
Yes.
And then you also want to wear them on date night because you want your significant other. I was trying to look for the right word. Significant other to completely go, yeah, that's my guy. That's him. And this is setting a mood. It sets a mood and set moods. And, there's times that I'm there. I totally get it. And that's exactly what you want to do with the colognes. You want to set a mood. You want to set a vibe. And I think that's exactly what you're talking about. And I love the fact that you're kind of naming them what you think that kind of is setting up. I love it.
It feels that way to me. And what Cologne has always done for me is given me, just like liquor gives some people a little bit of extra courage. Maybe it might be reckless, but liquor does allow you to poke your chest out a little bit.
Yep.
But what Cologne has always done for me is giving me a little bit more confidence in myself. Yep. So that's really what I'm trying to share with people. It may not do it the way that it does it for me, but as you're walking around and you're taking a whiff of that scent that you really enjoy and that so many people have given you compliments on already, you put that on the next time and you just like, man, I feel like I'm floating. I feel like I'm floating through the air, and it's just a little bit more confidence. You might have a little bit more pep in your step. Yeah, you might hold your head a little higher.
A little swagger.
You might have swagger, right? Right. You'll get some more swagger out of it. That's what I'm looking for. And that's what Cologne has always done for me. So when I'm introducing or when I'm presenting, let me say that to everybody, that's what I'm presenting to them, is the possibility of some extra confidence to carry with you. That's it. Not everybody's going to wear cologne scents every day. Not everybody. I'm a cologne guy, so I can, under any circumstances and any atmosphere, any experience, I can wear a cologne. Not everybody feels the same way. So that's just what I'm trying to share with people. That's it.
And I know that, so one of my first experiences was with, I didn't understand. I was like, I love cologne, but Dan was somebody that you had to, and I know that me and Dan have talked offline about this, that you kind of convinced him that there was different colognes for everyone, and here, try it. And I think he kind of got into the cologne game via you, because you were able to help him kind of get past that stigma that he had about colognes. Right.
And you'd be surprised at how many people have that stigma. And we touched on that earlier. Mm-hmm. As far as Dan went, Dan really wasn't a cologne scent fan or a cologne fan. And I knew this before I even reached out to him. So what I decided to do is I said, I'm going to take some of the softest, cleanest, because I don't want to hit him over the head with the strong ones. That's going to, have him running for the hills. But I'm going to try to and see what he thinks about some of the softer ones. but then also throw in a couple of the stronger profiles just so he can see the range. And Dan became a very big fan of Birthday Suit because it is citrusy, it is light, and it's an overall nice scent. It's not overpowering, it's not overbearing, but it is one of those scents where somebody's going to ask you, "What's that you're wearing?" Because it's not a very popular cologne. It's Paris Hilton for men, and because of the way Paris Hilton was living her life back in the day, people probably wouldn't go buy Paris Hilton just from that alone. And she was a celebrity, so it was just like, what does she know about? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that particular scent is everything that's in that name, which is Birthday Suit. And he became a fan of that one. And that's all I'm trying to do is convince people to try it. Just try it. Get a sample pack, pick 8 different ones, and see if you like them. Now, if you don't, 2 things can happen. One, you can pass those samples along to somebody who might like it, and I'm sure you know somebody. Or number 2, you can hit me back up and say, look, Ced, I didn't like any of them. Can I get my money back? And I'll tell you, yes, you can. Period. You know, and I've given 2 refunds in 5 years. And I'm not knock on wood because it's got nothing to do with luck. But that's how it is. If you don't like it, if you absolutely do not like it, or you can't get anything good out of it, I'll give you a refund. And no, don't worry about sending it back because I'm not going to resell it.
You're right. What are you going to do? Yeah.
I'm not going to use it myself. I don't know, I don't know if you got the Coronas. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking.
Keep your Coronas at your house.
Keep your Coronas in your fridge.
But that's the one thing that, and I wanted to point that out as well. You have excellent customer service, and I know that I reached out to you early on in the game before I was even reviewing, and that was the thing that I got out of the experience was that you were willing to on DM kind of walk you through what is it that you're looking for? What can I help you match? What is it that you like? What is it that you kind of are, what is it that you used to wear? Where can I go with this? And I've got that experience with, that's why of course I went with light blue because that's my jam.
Right.
That's my jam. But I did know that was the experience. And that's exactly what I was looking for was when I went to DM you, we had a great conversation and you were able to steer me into what I wanted to purchase.
Yeah. It's a lot of times people don't need to know what your recommendation is. Because like I said, I have stuff that I like that you might not. It might not mix with you. So what are you looking for? What kind of vibe are you trying to get? What are you used to? What do you like? What don't you like?
Yeah.
And you have to remember that even though I run a small business, small batch beard grooming company, I'm still a customer. I still buy shit I still buy stuff all the time. And I'm very disappointed in how I'm treated sometimes. So keeping that in mind, when it comes to questions, even if I think they're obvious answers, or even if it was something that I actually said and you asked me, okay, so what's light blue smell like? I'm still looking at you like you need help figuring that part out. You're not dumb, you're not ignorant, you're not slow. You just need a little help figuring it out. And I'm still a customer. I'm still a guy. I mean, just from my supplies alone, I have to shop online. And I have to call customer service numbers. And I have to pay for stuff. So those experiences I bring into my business. So now when you come talk to me, hopefully I have time because I do have a full-time job as well. And I do have a wife. And I do have a small business. And I'm also a part of a beard club called the Bearded Village. So it's like I'm being pulled in all these different directions. I don't mean hopefully I have time, but hopefully I get to you in enough time where you're satisfied with it. I'm going to talk to you like a regular person. And that's all it is. I'm not trying to get your money. You're going to spend, you've made the decision most times if you are even close to spending or not with me before you even talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's just like
practitioner. That's something I've always wondered about too. Like with Cedric, we can see it right now, right? We can see the kind of man he is, and with a few other owners, I kind of know that. But there's a few companies I've always wondered when they interact with us as reviewers and their customer service as it relates to us. Is it the same that they're putting out there to their everyday customers, or are they putting their best foot forward for us so that when we put out the review, we're like, yeah, they're amazing. Their customer service is amazing. And then the way they react to certain people is different because, like Cedric said, I've had where I've just been a customer before. I've had a totally different experience with a certain company than when I did when I came back as a reviewer and the way they reacted to me then.
Right. And I can tell you firsthand that I wasn't a reviewer when I talked to Ced first. And that was my experience. It was awesome.
Here's something that I want to touch on what you're talking about, Joe. A lot of times, as a company owner or a business owner, a lot of times, like I said, you're being pulled in so many different directions, and sometimes somebody will say something to you, and you'll know it's bullshit. Yeah, I don't mean it like that. I'm not saying you would. I'm not saying you would. But hear me out though. As a business owner, there are so many people with their hands out. So a lot of times the way you approach a business owner makes a difference as to how they're going to respond to you. Now, I'm not going to, just totally bite your head off if you ask me a question that I don't necessarily want to answer. And I think with customer service, what you see is what you get. The way that you feel from that conversation, that's pretty much how it's going to be going when you do business. Whether you're comfortable, whether you're okay, indifferent, or whether you're just like taken aback a little bit, what you see is what you get. But just, it's just like anything. It's just all in the way that you carry yourself and the way that you approach people and the way that you say something to somebody. It makes a huge difference. A lot of times you might not be thinking about it because you're a reviewer. You're like, all right, let me reach out to this guy, see if we can get something together. But he might not be, I don't know. Some company owners are a little elevated in their own mind.
That's a truth.
That's fair.
That's the truth.
That's a fair statement all the way. And I get what you're saying too, because I know from my own experience back when I was first getting started and I listened to bad advice. Again, you live and you learn, you make mistakes and you find the right way to do things, that there are a ton of other reviewers out there and a ton of other people out there who are sending out mass just copy and paste emails to owners, 15 times a day to the same owner over and over and over till they get a response to when they finally get a message from me. And it might just be a message like, hey, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm so-and-so getting ready to make a purchase from you guys. Just wanted you to know who we were, what we were doing before I go ahead and do it. That he's like, so what are you looking for? I'm like, no, dude, nothing. I was just saying hi. Like, but he's been bombarded all day and he's on the defensive already.
Right. Now that's only human. That's we're human.
Yes, absolutely.
There's no excuse for snapping on somebody or treating anybody poorly, but we're human. You keep poking that bear. Eventually, that bear is going to turn around, growl at you, and then possibly maul you.
Yeah.
So keep on poking. Now you could have been the 30th person that came along and poked that bear, Joe.
Yeah.
You weren't the first. So that may have been why their attitude was the way it was. No excuse, no justification, but we're human.
Yeah.
We're human. Yeah.
I've actually had a few where I reached out just, saying hi or whatever. The first conversation didn't go well. And then kind of like the next day or so, they'd message me and they'd be like, hey, man, listen, I kind of came at you the wrong way the other day. I was just in a bad place, just wanted to kind of reintroduce myself as well. And we went on to have great relationships. But you're right. These small business owners and such, they get bombarded so much. And we forget they're normal guys. They have a job. They have a life. They have all these other things going on. Yeah. But we expect because, we put an order in with them that hey, I sent you a question. You should have answered me right now. They got other things going on too. You got to give them a chance to answer you, which I'm sure they will once they have the ability to.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I think that that's the one thing that I could say that your DMs are, I mean, you got back to me within an hour or two. And so I know that I really appreciated that. And the fact that you were able to help people kind of figure out this Cologne game. That's a huge thing because it's mysterious. It's expensive. So not Colognes, period. Colognes out there in the world are expensive. They go from, $100 a bottle or higher. I know some people that go and collect and they do, sometimes either $1,000 a bottle.
Yeah.
So like
it's an investment. Yeah, it's an investment. So
Tom Ford's tobacco and oud is like what, like $1,000, like a couple of $100 a bottle or something like that, right? I mean, there's a few out there.
I have a scent called Stickman. It's modeled after green Irish tweed from the House of Creed, and that's a $300 $300 a bottle cologne.
Yeah.
$300.
Yep.
Now, I'm not going to tell you how I got it, but I can tell you that I didn't buy it, and don't worry, I didn't steal it. It was gifted, but I was just like, are you kidding me? When I went and Googled it, I was like, all right, I might want to go, check out the body wash and all this other stuff back in the day when I was doing all the cologne stuff. And I was like, 300. So it is expensive. It's going to go from $80 to $150 on average for a bottle of cologne that's alcohol based and that you can't wear on your skin, really, especially not your face. So it is important to talk to people and find out what are they going for. Is it just going to be a date night scent that you wear once every 3 weeks? Is it going to be that? Or are you single? Are you always clubbing or always going to bars and things like that? Or you're a little older, you're married, you got kids, you just want you got to find out all these things because, like I said before, all of these colognes have emotional attachments to them in some kind of way.
It's funny that you bring that up because the name you gave this, the Daywalker, I know you said it was inspired because you love Blade and all, but for me, it fit because it's got that dark, mysterious kind of undertone to it. So it's something that I feel when I throw it on, it makes me feel more confident. Like people, when they smell it, they're like, man, what was that? I'm more than happy throwing this on a daily basis to just go and walk around and go and do my everyday stuff. And it does last quite a while, and it does get quite a bit of comments from different people throughout the day. And it's just a great product, man. And again, like you said, you make a thicker oil, which I've always enjoyed. So I really have enjoyed my run with your products here.
Here's another thing. I don't use lotion.
Okay.
I used to use Palmer's cocoa butter all day, every day on my entire body. But since I started making beard products, which are basically beard oils are skin moisturizers. And if they don't moisturize your skin, then you don't need to be buying it. Sure, it's going to smell good, but if it doesn't moisturize your skin, what the hell are you buying?
Right.
Excuse me. But I don't use lotion. What I do is after I get out of the shower, whether I've washed, conditioned, or just rinsed my beard, but I've taken a shower and I've bathed and everything like that. And of course, water, when it dries, air dries, or when you towel dry, it's going to leave your skin feeling a little dry. A lot of people use lotion. A lot of people use this and that. I use my beard oil. And I have an abundance of it. So it's not like, I'm taking away from what I would be selling to other people. When I bottle up my beard oils or my samples, if I have some that's not full, that's mine. That goes on the shelf in the living room by the front door. So when I get out the shower, first thing first is the beard. I get it in the beard. Then I might get a little bit more in my hand, and that's going on my face, the baldy, my hands, and halfway up my arm, probably to the elbow. And if I'm feeling frisky, I might put some. I might put something on the back of my neck, and when I'm coming home and I'm trying to be the man to the late to the wife, I might put something around my belly button. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But it's a skin moisturizer, so you can use it. That's why I always encourage people when they're buying my beard oils, get the 2 ounce. Because let's see, a 1 ounce is 17, a 2 ounce is like 26. So you're getting like half off of the second ounce.
Right.
And you're always going to run out of beard oil before you run out of balm or butter most times. Because one's 1 ounce, one's 2 ounces.
People never put that together either. The math.
Yeah. Always
people never put that math together, because if you just think about it the right way, it's 17, 20, you know what I mean? Like 17 and 17 is 34. Like it's an easy math here, guys. Like, but a lot of people don't do that simple math to see the savings they're actually getting at the end.
Yeah. Hustle.
Yeah, he's throwing down the kokum
and mango. Yeah.
Yep.
Kokum. A lot of people didn't know about kokum, but there are a lot of companies now, excuse me, that are experimenting with different butters because they want the exotic addition or the exotic flair. And I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but that kokum and that mango works well for beard justice.
Yeah.
And I haven't had any complaints. It's whipped. I don't know if it's double or triple whipped, but it's whipped. And it's fluffy and it's light.
Yes it is.
So that's what I was going for with the butter. I think if you want a little bit of a hold, go buy a balm. But if you don't need the hold, or if you don't want the hold, buy the butter. And use it as a lotion on your elbows and those ashy parts of your body, elbows, knees, knuckles, put it around, around the stab, just where you might dry out a little bit. You don't
put it around my nose. I always dry up around here. I put it right around there. Yep. I always dry out around there.
Rub a little bit of it behind your ear. So when somebody gives you a hug, they're going to smell your beard going in for the hug. But if they're giving you an actual hug, they're going to smell the back of your ear.
Yeah, and that's how I wear. That's how I wear my cologne.
But you're right.
Yeah, that's how my mom taught me how to put cologne on. Is squirt, and then on just a little bit on the chest right here. And
I told you how my dad taught me to put cologne on. Turn the damn bottle over.
That's tragic. I was always told under the Adam's apple, one squirt on the inside of one wrist, so you can rub both wrists together.
Yeah.
And then I was also told that you squirt it up into the air and walk into it, so that maybe it'll sprinkle on your head, but it's not going to be a lot. Right. So I was always told that you don't wear a lot of cologne. You don't spray it all over the damn place.
Well, I think for my dad, like, he didn't wear cologne all the time, but when he did, the problem was he was a mechanic his whole life.
Right. So he's trying to cover up.
Yes, years of grease and engine and everything else, and he just. I think he hated smelling like that when he went out. So when he did want to smell something different, he would just pile on the cologne so that you didn't smell all the other stuff. You just smelled that cologne when he walked in.
It's understandable, man. It really is. It really is. I get that. He was trying to cover, he smelled grease all day, every day.
Yes. Yes, he did. His whole life from the time he was 14. That was all he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard, though.
See, and that's interesting because I think that's the one that's the mystique, that's kind of the stigma that goes along with it. They're strong, and it's really just about a light scent that helps kind of bring out a vibe, and that's what you're going for. And honestly, that's the way that I kind of feel that they're long lasting. That's a really great product. They're good for you. Second, and then they're not overpowering. To me, what I got, and I knew the light blue versus light blue, so I felt that was exactly what I was looking for, because I don't overly cologne. I have a kid that thinks he needs to bathe in it, but like, I had to tell him, like, hey dude, this isn't bath. This isn't something you just throw on after bath and then think it's just going to cover up all the rest of your smells. It's supposed to just complement you, and that's the one thing. Yeah. And that's what I felt like the light blue was, because I think that most people think that beard oils should have this really huge, strong smell that you whiff. And I know that you should smell a little bit of it, and you want other people to kind of enjoy it with you, but it's not overpowering. And to me, that's the way a good cologne is. Now, there's other people that may differ. I know that there's people that like the stronger scented stuff, but I don't feel like your stuff is the stuff that I've tried so far is not it's a typical cologne for me.
Right. Now, even the stronger scents that I have, they're not overpowering. I don't want you
I'm
to
curious.
think light
is this one of your stronger, would you say?
That's kind of middle of the road.
Okay.
I have some strong ones. I have like Mad Max, which Joey mentioned earlier, and Love Jones. That's Polo Black. It's a stronger scent. It's not a more powerful scent, if that makes any sense at all.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
I get what you're saying.
Scent. Right.
More power. It's got a bigger. Right, but it's not as
Cell Block. The other one that you have, I would kind of categorize that as a stronger scent profile, just because it has a little extra to it. It's just got a little bit extra spice to it, or a little, you know what I mean? But those they're not overpowering. You just have to remember it's just like cologne in the sense where if you put too much of it on, you're going to choke the life out of somebody.
That's the truth.
So, no, I know you want to smell good. And maybe some of you that have bigger beards, you don't really need to put a whole handful of this stuff on. It's not necessary. That's all I'm saying. Not with the strength of the fragrance oil blend that I use. You don't have to wear it like that.
Right. You want to smell good, but there is such a thing as using too much and having the opposite effect.
Right.
There's such a thing as going overboard.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And doing a little bit too much. And believe it or not, people know when they walk by you and you just bathed in some cologne, they're going to look at you like, what is he really trying to cover up? Is it
that boy don't shower. That boy don't shower. That's
or something else. Is he looking for attention?
Yep.
You know, it could be that too.
Or he just got done doing some, out in the parking lot, and he had
covering something. Right.
Good point. And I think that that's the one thing. So I definitely tell everybody out there that colognes are definitely to keep it light, keep it easy, and especially with Beard Justice. These are great products. They're great for your skin. And that's the one thing that again, that's my big thing here, is that it's good for you as well. It
should be that at the very least. It should be good for your skin at the very least. The scent is like seasoning for food. You're going to cook the food thoroughly or however you're going to cook it, but that seasoning that you sprinkle on it that gives it a little bit extra taste, that's what cologne scents are. That's what
it's funny. That's what I tell everybody when they ask me, and even when I do my reviews and stuff, I say the first thing that matters is it's got to be good for you. It's got to be good for your skin, and it has to make you feel good. It has to make your beard feel good and all. If it doesn't do those things, I don't care how good it smells.
Doesn't matter how good it smells.
You shouldn't be wasting your money on it, because what are you really putting on your face at that point then? What is it?
Right.
Very nice. So we are at that hour and 15-minute mark. So we are going to, I want to be conscious of time, and
he don't want to get yelled at by his wife.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I told my wife after last night's
happy life.
Yeah.
Hey, don't make fun of the guy. He's a smart dude.
No.
He knows where
absolutely. He knows. Listen, I'm divorced, so I obviously have no idea what I'm talking about, sir.
Right.
So don't do what I would do.
Yeah. I started talking to my wife about doing this, and she was like, another one? And I'm like, yeah, but this is that really good cologne guy. And she's like, okay. Yeah.
My wife does the same thing. She's like, you're going live again. You're going to do the video. Because number one, she's, comfortable in the house, and she's not always fully covered. So she wants to make sure she doesn't just walk by the camera or walk in front of me or something like that. But she also knows how exciting it is for me. You know, I'm very. It's very exciting when I can, you know, sit down and talk to a couple of guys and just, you know,
It's an outlet. Yeah,
It is.
Yeah,
it's an outlet.
It's therapy for real. It really is.
Yes,
therapy.
sir.
Yep. That's the
Especially right now on quarantine mode, man. This is like
Oh, I
your
feel
most
for a lot
exciting
of
moment of the day.
Yeah.
I feel for a lot of people. It's I'm an essential employee. I work
Right.
for the city of Shreveport in public works. I actually drive a garbage truck.
Oh, awesome.
So you can imagine that people are at home now full time.
Yep.
They're not going to work. So
Nope.
think of how much waste they're accumulating, especially with the kids at home. You don't want that sitting out on the curb for an extra week, do you?
Right.
Nope.
Thank
I'm
you.
good.
Yeah.
We got enough
so
stuff
we'll
sitting
work-
in the driveway right now.
So we
Right,
thank you. We
right.
thank you definitely for that one. That's an amazing. I mean, all the workers that are out there doing this stuff while we're having the ability to stay inside, because there's people that we got to have things done. You know,
I would go
appreciate
crazy.
it.
I would go crazy.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
let me tell you,
I
it's
would.
crazy. I've been working from home, and I think I got out this morning just because I needed something to get out for. I've been locked up for like 3 weeks, so.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've been out like for maybe an hour here and there in the last 3 weeks, but it's not anything fun. And it's like I'm working from home, so I'm not leaving. I get up, go get shower.
My big
and
adventures have been my walks to CVS. Like that's it. That's
That's all you got. Well, embrace it, man. Enjoy it.
That's what I've been doing.
At least you can do that much. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So the other thing that Tyson, I saw, he was. So I heard something, a rumor that you like a team that is out there that is definitely my rival team. So I'm a big Chiefs fan.
I'm a big Raiders fan.
I know you are. I know you are. So, but I heard. Yeah, me too.
He's finding all kinds of special places right now for me because I'm a Giants fan. I'll be honest, but my grandmother, growing up, my grandmother was a huge Raiders fan. I mean, gigantic. Sundays you could not talk to her. Sundays was pizza and Raider Day. That was it.
That's it. But see, the thing about most diehard Raider fans is they don't want to see any team do well but the Raiders. And it's been a long time since the Raiders have done anything. A couple years ago, they had a good season. Carr broke his leg and they were just out. But before that, it was just like a shit show. Excuse me. But as far as the Super Bowl, as a Raiders fan, somebody asked me, they were like, who would you rather see win, the Chiefs or the 49ers? Now, the 49ers are right there in the Bay Area in California.
Yeah, that's a rough one for a Raider fan. That's not easy.
So no, it's easy. It's very easy. It's very easy. I said, I hope they both lose. That was my answer, man. That was my answer. I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Let this. What was it? The Dome Gate or whatever, the thing where the lights went out in the middle of the Super Bowl, the last 49ers.
That was Frisco and Baltimore. Yeah.
So, so I heard a bird tell me that you were thinking about moving to Vegas.
You know what? I had thought about it because number one, I'm originally from San Diego. So the West Coast is where I'm from, but for the last 20 some odd years, I've lived on the East Coast, aside from the last year and a half where I've been here in the Deep South. And huge difference. I mean, when I was 17 leaving San Diego to go explore the world, I was glad that there was a difference, a pace difference, a weather difference, a scenery difference. But over the last 20 some odd years, I've decided that, I would really like to be closer to home. Now, San Diego is one of the more expensive cities in California.
It is. Yep.
California is one of the more expensive states to live in the country.
Yep. You don't got to tell me I live in Jersey, brother. Right.
Jersey. Oh, yeah. See, Jersey. Yeah, bro.
Same thing.
Woo! I know what you mean there. Because I used to drive a bus up and down from D.C. to New York all the time. So I'd have to be on the turnpike for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. So, and that was the worst part of Jersey to me. I never really had to branch off into the actual state. But I thought about moving to Vegas, and my wife and I talked about it 6 months ago or so, 7 months ago, and we started to plan for it, but it just wasn't the right time. We didn't want to just up and move and things fall apart. I don't mean our marriage, I just mean our lives.
Right.
You're
No,
moving
totally
across
understand.
country. I'm in Louisiana now. So it's still 1,400, 1,500 miles to Las Vegas. Furniture, finding somewhere to live, finding a job, getting everything over there. So it was great because it wasn't California, but it was close enough.
Right.
And then a couple years ago, when they started talking about the Raiders moving to Las Vegas, that's where everybody thought I was following them. No, I lived in Vegas when I was 22, but I was a different person.
Well, yeah, we all are. We all are at 22. So I live in Phoenix, so I definitely understand the whole San Diego
thing. So
thing.
the dry climate. That's kind of what I'm looking for. It's so humid down here in Louisiana. It was so humid in DC. I was looking for a nice change, and my wife has only visited that part of the country. She's never lived, so that was another thing. But I kind of wanted to get closer to the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, I miss it, man. That's me and my wife make meccas out to San Diego. So if you ever follow my Instagram, you'll see that I am out in San Diego probably at least once a year. We hang out. Yeah. We pretty much do the same thing. So we pretty much do La Jolla Cove. Yeah. We go down to maybe the lighthouse. We definitely do Mission Beach, and then we're trying to find some other thing to do, maybe the Balboa Park or something. But
I went to high school right down the street from Balboa Park. I went to junior high next door to the San Diego Zoo.
Oh, cool.
Right next door. So when we were out on the gravel playground, we would look through the fence and see the animals.
Oh, that's awesome.
And smell them. So
smelling them was awesome.
Yeah, well, it became something that you got used to.
Right, right.
I'm sure people that live in Jersey, or I don't know if it's northern or eastern Jersey, you have the sewage issue. You probably get used to that.
Oh, yeah. The town I used to live in, every time it rained, for some reason, this horrible stench came up from the river. And after a while, people would be like, "You don't smell that? It smells like dirty diapers out here." I'm like, man, I've been living here my whole life. I don't smell nothing no more.
You get used to it. You get immune to it.
Yep.
But yeah, Mission Beach, that's where everybody, even people who grew up in San Diego, it's just like that's where we want to go. We want to take our families and take our friends and get a couple tents.
Yep.
We're not going past our waist in the ocean.
Nope.
Plus, the feel of seaweed on our feet feels really weird.
Yep.
So, but San Diego is a great place. It's just so expensive to live there.
Yeah, me and my wife were taking a look at. So we went and looked at what's that town that's right outside of San Diego? It's Alpine. So Alpine. So we were just looking at just a small house there, and it was like $500,000 for like a small 3-bedroom, and we were like, no, absolutely not. You know.
Yeah. And that's outside of San Diego. That's out. That's east of San Diego and toward the desert. Like Palm Springs and like
Palm Desert, right?
Barstow and stuff like that. Riverside. That's way out. I mean, it's not way out there, but it's
desert
out there a bit. But you're still in California.
Yeah, I love California. There's a vibe that goes to the California. People don't understand that. My sister lived in Hollywood North Hollywood for a bit, for like 8-10 years. And absolutely, there's a vibe that goes with Cali. I just absolutely love the vibe. I completely agree. I think Vegas kind of has a little bit of that vibe, personally.
It does, in a way. It does have kind of like the West Coast vibe, but you're still 5 hours away from the ocean.
Yeah, I know.
But think about it though. 5 hours it's not that bad.
Nope.
A 5-hour drive?
Nope. That's how we feel about Phoenix. That's like San Diego's 6 hours. I think we're about 5 hours and 45 minutes from the beach. And we'll be putting
that's not bad. You can take a 5 or 6 hour drive and stay overnight or a couple of days and drive back and just be like, oh my God, that was an amazing experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
exactly why we do it. I love the ocean, and that's been my vacation for the last. I think me and my wife have been married 13 years, so we go out at least once a year, if not twice, 3 times a year.
Right. What you got going on there, Joe? I saw you getting yourself all cleaned up for something. What you got going on, man?
Well, I'm just getting my nighttime routine going. That's all.
There you go. There you go.
Getting some butter in my head and all that good stuff. Nothing. No, listen, man. We're on. Even if I wanted to have somebody come over, man, we're on quarantine. Stand outside the window and talk to me real quick. This ain't high school no more, bro.
Whatever works, man. Whatever works.
Right.
I'm telling you, man. I hit the store today, saw a girl I knew. She went to come over and give me a big hug. I was like, whoa, stop. Knock it off.
Yeah.
Stay right there and wave at me. Like, wave.
6
like,
feet.
how you doing?
6 feet.
Well,
it's crazy world we're living in, but it's reality.
Yep.
You still have to be careful. Whether you believe it or not, you still have to be careful because what this thing is doing, it is bringing more light to people's personal hygiene.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It does nothing else. It's making you realize that the people that are over washing their hands and over bathing and over, spending so much money on toilet, the people that are overcompensating are overcompensating.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion. If you're going through all that, if you got to do all that, if you wasn't washing your hands already and wiping your ass already, I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Listen, it's funny. My daughter, she's an amazing girl on so many levels, but she has like a tick, if you will. Anytime she touches something or whatever, she has to wash her hands right afterwards. Like she has to do it. And when she was little, man, it was really bad. The one time I didn't notice it right away. And I guess it got worse after she went to bed. She woke up, the whole back of her hand was like sandpaper with little cuts all over the place. Because she had washed her hands so much that she had stripped away all the natural oils and stuff like that. So I had to like get to the point where I would see her going to the bathroom. I'd be like, whoa, nope, stop. What are you going to wash your hands for? You didn't do nothing. Stop. But now she looked at me the other day. She's like, you going to stop me from washing my hands now, Daddy? I was like,
no, baby, I'm not.
I was like, I guess I'm not, but I'm going to be standing behind you with a bottle of beard oil. Like, wait, here, hold on. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
Put that in your hands real quick.
Yeah. Couple drops. That's
there you go. So I'm going to use Ced's tagline here. I got to go pay some taxes.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So thank you for coming on, buddy. I totally appreciate it. Joe, again, thank you for coming on. I know that we really enjoyed your products. I'm hoping that everybody else gets an opportunity to try this out.
Shameless plug for anybody who's watching or anybody who will be watching. You definitely need Beard Justice in your life. If you haven't gotten it yet, you have no idea what you're missing out on. I didn't know what I was missing out on until I got it. Now I know.
Right. But here's I didn't mean to interrupt either of you. And I should have mentioned this before. We talked about a lot of my products, but right now I'm having a sale, and it's a buy one get one free sale. Should have mentioned it a couple of times before, but
I didn't say a word about it. I completely forgot. We were just talking about it
in the moment. We were in the moment. But it's buy one get one free. It's what you have to do is you have to go to the combos category. Whether it's a balm and oil combo, whether it's a butter and oil combo, or it's a balm, oil, and butter trio. You add 2 of those to your cart, use code CORONA, CORONA, and that'll knock it down 50%. Here's the thing. It can't be a single beard oil where you add a balm to it. It has to be that combo listing. Here's another thing. I mentioned it earlier. Try to upgrade to the 2-ounce oil. And here's another thing. Last thing. That sale is going to run indefinitely as of right now. It was originally supposed to be a week. I usually do BOGO week once a month.
You just made my back of my hair stand up because I get my check in a couple of days. I'm like, hold on.
If you have, here's the thing. For butter and oil combos, if you order 2 with shipping, it'll probably be about $32.
You know, I'm thinking
combos.
about getting. I'm thinking
Two
about getting
combos.
some trios. I'm thinking
Well,
about
two
some
trios.
trios.
If you do the trios, you know it's going to be a little bit more. But if
That's
you
fine.
get the 2 ounce, you know it's really because it's going to be balm, butter, and oil. But the great thing about it is, after the first week, I said I'm going to do two weeks. Midway through the second week, which was this week, I was like, you know what? Let me just run this. You know, people don't have a lot of money, but they still, you know, want to buy some stuff. People might want
Absolutely.
to try Beer Justice and don't want to get hit over the. You wouldn't get hit over the head anyway. But if you're getting 2 combos for the price of one,
It's you can't lose
I
right now.
don't know
And
how
you're
you can
right
go
though.
wrong.
It's a commendable thing to do right now though, because so many people. I mean, even myself. I mean, you guys know my story. I'm on disability, so I do side jobs at the local nights to kind of make some extra money so we can get by. That's all done as of right now. I'm out of work until well into May at this point. So a lot of people are in that same boat, man, and money's extremely tight. So
Yeah.
running a sale like the BOGO deal makes somebody go, you know what? I need some new stuff. I
And
don't
it's
want
gonna
to
last.
spend a fortune. Let me try
No.
out Beer Justice right now. He's got a BOGO going on. Why not?
Is going to last you because you're not going to use the same cent every day, the same 2 cents. You have other
Exactly.
beer products. You're going to rotate. But for 32, 34 bucks, something like that, you can get 2 combos. And it's good stuff. It's quality stuff. The reason why I'm doing the BOGO now is because, like you said, Joe, money is tight.
Yes, sir.
And also because I get pure joy in making this stuff.
That's amazing.
So remaking it because I ran out of it, man, you could only imagine the
Yes,
feeling
sir.
that I get.
It's a feeling
It's
of
not a
accomplishment,
chore.
I'm sure.
Yes, it's not a chore. It's not a hobby. It's not a job. It is pure joy. So that's part of it is because of me. I want to make this stuff. I want to have these orders coming in. I want this stuff leaving my house.
Yes, sir.
So that's the selfish part of me in this BOGO deal. But it's all about sharing. Look, BOGO, buy one, get one free. How many times have you seen that run for going on 3 weeks now?
No, I see guys run it,
Awesome.
but it's usually on a very strict timeline. Like
Yeah.
if they tell you it's 7 days, on that 7th day at the 24th hour, it's done.
Only this weekend. It could only be on Wednesday. Mine, I'm going into my 3rd week, and I really don't know when this Corona stuff is going to end.
I don't think anybody does right now, sir.
And you know, it's not like I can't afford. I got money coming in. I got product going out. So it's not like I'm putting myself in a position where I'm hurt. Because anytime you got something coming in, it's good.
We appreciate it, brother. We really do. Like, I'll speak for the community here. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. This is, and that's a way of giving back to the community. It's good products, and you're getting good. You know, it's a good sale. Awesome sale, actually.
I didn't mean to talk you to death on that. I know you're trying to get out of here.
No. But we needed. That's the whole point. That was one of the big points. Is we want to help show what you're doing, and that's actually my next question: is what is going on? What are we doing? What's the big thing? So now you've just told us about that. What else is going on in your world? You're driving some trucks. What else is anything else big going on in your life, Ced?
Not a whole lot right now. You know, as you get a little older, you kind of keep things closer to the vest. You don't really venture out.
Is that what's happening to me? Is that what's happening to me? I'm getting older.
You're getting older.
I've learned too that my tolerance for people in public places is getting lower as well.
Yeah, that's part of it. I'm telling you, that's part of it.
Okay.
That's part of it. So you can imagine, you're talking about in public. My tolerance for people, I drove buses, city buses, for 22 years. So I had to deal with people all the time. So when I started the business, it was just like, it was nothing for me to deal with somebody who might not have been right in the head. Not saying that anybody, my customer, but I'm just saying that was part of it. But as far as tolerance, people are kind of idiots, you know? So
irrational. You don't think things through most of the time. Yeah.
But you got to remember, not everybody is as put together as you are, Joe. So just keep
I'm not
that in
put
mind.
together. I just hide it better than most of you guys.
You might not, you might have issues too, but somebody else that you're looking at, like,
yes,
think about what they're going through. So you know, just Try a little
Well,
harder not to snap on them.
Oh,
Yep.
listen, I don't snap. What I've learned is, though, I guess my tolerance level is just a little lower now for stupid things. Like little things will
Right.
set me off. So when I see those little things happening and I know it's going to start getting to me, I just remove myself from the situation now. That's it.
Right.
Let me just get out of here. That way I don't say nothing. Nah, because
Right.
what they're doing isn't that big of a deal, and I know it's not.
Right.
But I can't, just like they can't stop themselves from doing that, I can't stop myself from getting mad about it either. So I just remove myself from the situation.
That's all you got to do. Distance.
Yep.
Social distancing. I was practicing it well before all this.
That's why I meditate, guys. I need that time. Need that time to
Oh, yeah.
myself. Yep. Cool. Thank you very much, Ced. Anything going on with you, Joe? We talked a little bit last night, but any big things going on for you?
I think we're going to start doing the lives on Thursday. We're going to try and do I heard it was already being done. That's heartbreaking, but we're going to try and do like a behind the wall, if you will, of the beard world. Give you guys a look at the companies, the reviewers, everybody, and just kind of open up some real dialogue and some real stuff. Like we enjoy talking the beard stuff and all that, but I'd like to get to know all of you guys on a more personal level and know who I'm dealing with. And then, of course, we have Sammy Cake's Community Corner coming up. We haven't picked a specific date yet for this month because of all that's going on. We just haven't actually sat down and worked it out. But now that I'm out of work pretty much for every weekend coming up, it can be any weekend now. So we've already got 3 companies signed up for giveaways, and I will be posting the date Monday morning when Sam picks it, pretty much. Like I said, she runs the show here. I'm just the face. I just go out and I'm just the face.
Add me to that list, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And the giveaways just got that much better. Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bro. That's awesome. And I am doing some reviewing stuff. I got Han Yockers coming in. So looking forward to trying out another great product. I have actually, weirdly, randomly, I have this podcast that I'm somehow, this guy reached out for me.
I think that's awesome, Prac. I really do. I think it's amazing that some guy just reached out because of your beard channel pretty much and wanted to interview you. Like, we're the ones who are usually interviewing owners, and somebody wanted to interview you. That's amazing.
It was cool.
Make sure you give them all that knowledge, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're our best shot. We got nothing without you. We got nothing without you. We got to reach more people, and it's up to you. No pressure. It's up to you.
You messed this up. We're coming for you. No pressure.
That's right.
No pressure. No pressure.
So I talked to the guy. So we did this on Tuesday or Monday. I can't remember. And so he tapes it and then he releases it in like 2 weeks. So now I'm just writing up my bio. And then I felt like he says, this is the first time I've ever done a guy with a beard. And I'm like, holy moly. I have a lot of pressure on here now because now I got to be repping what I did. But it was a good conversation, and I look forward to, and I'll post it on Instagram, and people can hear what I had to say. But good stuff. Thank you guys. Thank you again for coming on.
You guys will look at that butter again. Look at that amazing butter, man. Look at that stuff.
Yep. And I can't. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Thank you very, very much, Ced.
Thank you. Thank you both. Seriously.
Cedric, man, thank you again. Plaque, thank you as always, brother. Always appreciate it. Always have a good time, man.
Absolutely. Stay bearded, guys. Stay in that space. Be safe.
Stay home.
Stay home. Good times, man. Thank you, Ced. This